Pull up a chair, we growing something good. Who's in the garden today? Roscheeta, Shelly, Jacqueline, Cici, Texas sunshine. Garden girls, yeah, we here. From the soil to the soul, let the conversation grow. Backyard dreams, garden schemes, let the good vibes flow. We talk seeds and seasons, life lessons in between. Laugh a little louder when the harvest ain't what it seems. Yeah. It's the garden girls, yeah, we here. Garden girls, it's the garden girls, yeah, we here. Garden girls, it's the garden girls, yeah, we here. Garden girls, it's the garden girls, yeah, we here. Garden girls, yeah. Welcome to the garden, everybody eats here. It's the garden girls, yeah, we here. Garden girls, it's the garden girls, yeah, we here. Garden girls, it's the garden girls, yeah, we here. Garden girls, it's the garden girls, yeah, we here. Garden girls, garden
Hey everybody, welcome.
Hey y'all.
Welcome to the Garden Girls Chatting Too. Let me turn off my notifications. Right, that should make sense. Welcome to the Garden Girls Chatting Too. I am Roscheeta Monique. I am a gardener in Michigan Zone 6A. I garden in ground, raised beds, planters, and hydroponics. I don't know what I usually say in the intro, y'all, but I'm here and y'all just bear with me while I catch my breath. So I'm gonna let the ladies, my wonderful co-hosts, go ahead and introduce themselves.
You want to go ahead, Shirley?
Can you guys hear me?
Uh-huh.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Good evening. My name is Shelly, the host of Shelly's Homestead Hideaway, growing in Maryland Zone 7B, where I am growing in-ground, raised beds, elevated beds, self-irrigated planters, pots, green stalks, and hydroponics. I think I covered them all. Passing the mic to you, Cici.
All right. Hey y'all, I am Cynthia from Cici's Texas Garden. I'm in Zone 8B, 9A in Texas. I grow in-ground in containers in raised beds. I also do green stock and hydroponics indoors. Y'all want to know what I'm eating and drinking tonight? I'm going to put that in now. Okay, so tonight I'm having some water, and I am having, and tell me in the chat if y'all ever had this, but this is, you would think it's a blood orange, but it's actually raspberry orange. So it's supposed to taste like berries instead of, I guess, the citrus. I don't know. So this is new. I had never heard of that before, raspberry orange, but it's a thing. So that's what I'm having tonight.
That is very, very interesting, Cici. I actually snack.
Oh, you're freezing.
Some butter pretzel.
You're freezing up a little bit when you talk. It's not getting a good signal.
Yeah, I'm traveling, so I might not be talking much tonight. But I was saying that that's very interesting.
Yeah.
And I finished my snack. I was peanut butter pretzels.
Oh, okay.
Somebody said I look fuzzy too. I'm so
Yeah.
sorry.
My
I'm
brother.
here.
She's traveling, y'all. She on
Yeah,
the road.
so we just gonna bear with her. It's all right. I was fuzzy last time. I was on the road again. They couldn't wait to get on the road again. Listen.
We so good.
Did you want to taste your raspberry orange now or later?
I can go and taste it.
Yeah,
Y'all know
I mean, you don't have to. I just didn't know because I heard
I was gonna taste it, but if it was nasty, I could just slid it back in the bowl and y'all wouldn't have paid attention. Anyway, cheers, y'all. This is raspberry orange.
Oh, okay.
It seems like an orange that they maybe syringe some raspberry juice.
She says syringe it.
Did you say syringe? Oh my god.
It just don't go together. I don't know. I try to even chill it. I put it in the refrigerator to chill it for it to try to taste different. But it's just like, it tastes like an orange, and like they put some raspberry juice in it. Like they let it soak in raspberry juice. I don't know. It's kind of weird. Okay.
That's kind of weird. I'll let you have it. I'm going to be snacking on some oatmeal and turkey sausage. My oatmeal ain't warm enough. Because I ain't ate since early, and I'm like, came in from church like, no, I needs to eat. And I'm drinking on some hint water, some blackberry hint water. Okay. Yeah. So listen, we did the introductions. Let me go over to these banners because y'all know I don't be know where I'm going if I don't have the banners. If you can enter your grow zones in the chat, so that we'll, if you want to buddy up with somebody or follow a channel that has content in your grow zone, go ahead and put it in there so you guys can make connections. If you have any questions, you can go ahead and submit them in the chat as well, and we will answer them as we can get to them. And also, if it's something I think that we're going to cover, we might just hold your question until we get to that point. So don't think that we're just overlooking you, but we just don't want to keep going back and forth, if that makes sense. Amen. Amen, church. Say amen. Okay. 2-week garden update. Who wants to start?
Amen.
Somebody said amen. They saying amen. Thank you, y'all. The grow zone. We got 6 and 7. We have 8B. Okay. So anybody want to start with the garden update? Or do I start?
You can start.
I'll start. My garden update in the last 2 weeks. So I have cleared out. So I have 8 total garden beds, and I cleared out 2. I thought I could do 2 in one day, but the bed that I put the mint in. Okay, let me go here. I don't know if I told y'all this, but if you watched the live, I told y'all this on the live. I know that mint is invasive. My plan was to I'm going to put this mint here, and then I'm going to put it up and put it in the pot. But then I had my little health event, and then so therefore it's grown in that pot, in that garden bed for 2 years. So now, the other day I had to dig it up. I dug it up, kept some of the roots, put them in water, and then I'm going to put those smaller propagated pieces into planters. That's the plan. So I cleaned out 2 garden beds, and I'm excited about it. The garden, I talked to you all about mulching with my leaves, or at least adding them to the soil. Well, the lawn man came today, and I think he mowed up my 2 piles of leaves. So That's that. Hydroponic wise, I've still got tomatoes. These tomatoes are tomatoing. Okay, this orange hat and this Tiny Tom, whoever his name is, they just giving tomatoes. The seedlings that I started, now I have peppers that I've started. Some of them have come up, some have not. But I'm gonna try some of the other ones in soil and see what I can get to happen. Sweet potato slips. Did I tell y'all? Was that before? I don't know when I did the sweet potato. I got sweet potato slips. Then I took off the sweet potato, put them in soil. I trimmed my onions back. The onions are still doing well. My celery was doing good. My borage and my mullein died. I killed it. My strawberry, bare root strawberries now have runners. And they're in the hydroponic, so I haven't decided if I'm going to take them and put them in a pot or not. Or take the runners. I don't know what I'm going to do, but right now they're in the hydroponics. And then the ones I started from seed are growing. They're a little slow, but they're coming along. And then unlock it back, babe, because your teeth are going to be coming. Yeah, my basil from WIG, the only plant that made it from WIG 2025, is still growing. So I think that's it as far as my garden update. Anybody who want to go next? Cynthia or Shelly? Take it away. Come on, Shelly.
I can try to go if y'all can hear me. Y'all can hear me okay?
Yes, ma'am. I can hear you.
Awesome. So these past 2 weeks have definitely been very interesting out in the garden. Let me try to think from week 1. What did I get done? I got my green stalks set up. I had to corral my asparagus because they were just falling all over. So I set up some stakes and put them behind the bar so they weren't hanging over so much. And I have cleaned up the beds. So I have three 8x4s, the 2 6x3s, 10 self-irrigated planters, 4 2x3s, I think. Grow bags. We've cleaned all of the stuff up, and I am in the process of raising the soil level in those that need to have soil, and of course amending the soil in all of the beds. But because, as I said, I'm on the road and I already had seedlings started, I had to start getting some stuff planted out. So let me tell y'all, I took some seedlings out yesterday for the very first time. And I said, y'all it's going to be sink or swim, do or RIP. Because I got to get on the road tomorrow and y'all going to have to hold your own. So what I did yesterday and a little bit today was up-potted some of my seedlings that I literally just took outside yesterday for the first time. Fortunately, it was an overcast, kind of cool-ish day. And so I had like dwarf sunflowers, some kohlrabi, some cabbage, 2 tomato plants. I had some flowers, I think some cosmos. I'm trying to think of everything that I had started. So I up-potted those things, and some of them I just I sat them on a raised bed, still in their containers. I planted some of the dwarf sunflowers in pots, not knowing if they were going to make it or not. I'm like, Lord, y'all go, just hold on. Just hold on. Now, my basil and what else did I have out there? I had different types of basil and stuff that was already out there, and so they were going to be fine. But y'all just pray that Sun takes care of the garden while I'm away, including the hydroponics that's still going. Listen, I got peppers on my pepper plant in my hydroponics. I didn't intend for that to happen. So I plucked all the flowers and blossoms off before I left today. But I let the 3 that are on there go. So I think that's pretty much it. It's just been cleaning up and trying to figure out where I'm going to plant stuff this season.
Mm-hmm.
So that's it. My garden update.
Okay. As for me and my garden, y'all. As y'all seen, if you've been following me on my videos, we had flooding. I had flooding. The backyard was definitely flooded. And then my front garden was like a pigsty without the pigs. It was, mud, and y'all will see that more in videos to come. But yeah, just very muddy. So I took a day and I did 8 wheelbarrows of wood chips so I could be able to even get in my garden. Them videos will be coming. Your girl was tired trying to do that, but I was trying to be able to get in the garden. It was bad to the point where Domino was like, "No, I'm not going in that muddy, that muddy sand pit." No, so I did that. We had plant sale that I was having the hardest time to get rid of my babies and send them to their new homes and hopefully the people take care of them. So it's really difficult, y'all. Serious. And I know I have a million plants, but I grew each one of them. For all seeds I have, done. And but we had an amazing plant sale for our garden club. Made over $1,000-something at that sale. And the people was there. That video is coming too, for you can see how it was at the thing. But we did really good on sales, so that contributes to when we go on trips and everything, which we're getting ready to go on the trip Tuesday. I'm not gonna tell you where yet, but we're going on trip Tuesday, so it should be fun of the farm that we're going to. And also, so as for my garden, okay, so I put out a video today. I had a little mouse issue and in the garden, and they was enjoying the greenhouse. They have set up a beautiful nest with my zinnia flowers that I have from last year, and they had it all just fancy in their whole beautiful nest. Anyway, so the mice are not there anymore. I have completely cleaned out my greenhouse. They're out of there. So that's done. And as for my garden, this past time and even today, I have been working on trying to plug in at least over 100-something plants into the garden in my spaces, and still, I'm gonna have stuff everywhere. That's just all to it. But I'm gonna have amazing harvests. So please follow my channel. It's gonna be amazing. Okay, so thank you. That's it. Hey, Jackie.
Hey. Hello,
Jackie.
everyone.
Hey, you can do your introduction and your 2-week garden update.
Oh, all right. Everyone, I am Jacqueline, content creator for 4 Seasons Garden. I am a master gardener here in Virginia. I garden in zone 7A. So we are kicking up here for our season. I garden in, containers, in self-irrigated planters, mainly elevated beds, hydroponics, and that's mainly it that I can think of off the top of my head. And 2-week update for my garden.
Hold on.
What?
You have to start adding in not only the things that you're growing in, but you need to say that you are growing chickens, that you have chickens. That needs to be in your update every 2 weeks.
And my chickens, yes, and green stalks. I heard you say green stalks. So green stalks and my chickens, my many chickens. So 2-week update. well, now that we're talking about chickens, I'll update you on the chickens. So we finally evicted the chickens this week. We have a video that'll be hopefully coming out with that. So they're no longer in the brooder in my garage. It is so dusty that I gotta clean my garage because all the pine shavings that they just kicked about in there. But they're now outside in the chicken tractor. We got wheels on the chicken tractor. It took us, I'm not kidding, at least a dozen trips between Home Depot and Lowe's and Harbor Freight. And if nothing else, me who is not a builder or anything, but if you go to Lowe's or Home Depot, they should all have hex bolts. They should all have the same type. So you don't have to go from one store to the other store. But I learned so much with all the building my chicken tractor. I did that myself. And I'm quite proud of myself. I got back on the table saw and cut it out and built it and did all that fun stuff. So we have 9 laying chickens, and we're down to 26 meat chickens. We had a little mishap with some of the chickens, and they got unalived this week when we moved one of the tractors. So the count's going down, but we've got it moving, and we did a little bit of a live on that, I think on Thursday of last week. And we also announced that I'm now going to be a grantee to my aunt, to my niece. She decided to use my life to announce that I was going to be an aunt. So a great aunt. So I'm excited about that. So let's see. 2-week update from a garden standpoint of view. Now that I have no longer concentrating on the chickens because it took everything in me to get them out, built, and out the door, I can now concentrate on all the plants that I have in my hydroponics. And I'm telling you, they are so overgrown. I refuse to move the light because I don't want them to grow any taller. So this week will be all week before I leave on Friday. I'm flying out to Florida for a conference, is up potting everything before I leave. So that is going to be the biggest thing. I've got tomatoes that are overgrown. I've got peppers that are giving me flowers and peppers. I need to get those off. So I started like going through, snipping them off with my finger because I don't want any of those things giving me fruit until I get them outside. So all of that's going on. My strawberries are doing amazing that I put in the hydroponics. I've also had to take more flowers off of those. I'm going to give them till the end of mid-April. I will stop taking the flowers off because they're ever bearing. And hopefully by then I will have those also, some of them up potted outside and then leaving some indoors. Let's see. I bought some petunias this week because I did not get to buy seeds. So I am going to propagate those. So we'll be working on a project on propagating. And I wanted red, white, and blue. I want red, white, and blue in the front of my house and all my pots because it's our 250th anniversary of the United States. So I wanted a little something festive up front. And I think that does it. I don't think there's anything else I did that's monumental. Everything's been just chickens. So
eat more chicken.
Yes, right. More Chick-fil-A. Here it comes.
Eat more chicken. One thing I remembered, was it two things I remember about my garden update. I have supposedly an edible wildflower growing in my yard. Mm-hmm. So that's fun. It's very beautiful. Will I be eating it? I don't know yet. I want to read something other than Google.
Know what it's
before
called?
I eat it. What'd you say, Shelly?
Do you know what the wildflower is called? Do you know what it's
Common blue violet or something like that. Common blue. I sent the screenshot. Hold on. And then also I'm scared about my garlic. I know Jacqueline said it's gonna be all right, but I just feel like I should have seen something picking up through that soil by now. So I don't know what happened with my garlic, but we're gonna see. Where's my photos? I'm gonna tell you what it is in just a second. So so those are two things about my garden update. So I'm excited that I'm actually outside.
It's so good to be outside. It just
I am super excited to see you back outside, Roscheeta.
I know.
So good.
Had a little overalls on and everything.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Common blue violet. Yeah, it's common blue violet. It's called.
Okay. It's Jacqueline. I can't wait to see you next week.
Oh, next is it next? No, we'll see each other Saturday.
Are y'all doing a video when y'all get together?
We can.
Oh, are you coming in Saturday?
No, I actually fly in Friday, but I'm not coming over till Sunday. I'm gonna go spend a few days with my daughter and my niece.
Well,
okay, hon. Okay, I get in Saturday evening.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Make it happen.
Roscheeta asked, "Are we going to record?" We will probably try to record something if we can. It just depends. We're gonna be busy.
All right. Somebody said happy that we're not in the fire zones. Thank you. You got about 2 to 3 hours, so praying for people to be safe. They get out when they're trying to get out.
Wait, what's on fire, y'all? It's been crazy busy.
I don't know. Somebody put it in the chat. There's a lot of stuff going
area? On. Where is fire?
I'm waiting for them to put it in the chat.
Yeah.
So, banners. Let me go back to the banners. Wave your banner, wave your banner. 2-week garden purchase update. Wow. I actually have a garden purchase update. And we bless God for that. I was gifted a couple of greenhouses.
What?
A 4-shelf greenhouse.
Yeah.
That's like almost a little 5 feet, 4 feet wide. So I got 2 of those. If you're looking for some, Ollie's have them for $29.99.
How wide are they?
You can't step in them. You just reach into them.
No, these are the ones you just reach in. It's not the one you walk in.
Oh, is it like the one that I put together?
Huh?
Is it like the one I put together on live that time?
I would say yes. Yes.
I just want something wide enough to put my 4-foot lights in.
I took a screenshot of it. Hold on, let me see if the images are on my screenshot.
I don't think that's big enough for that.
That's not big enough for that. Okay, that's what I'm looking for. I'm just looking for something that wide so I can throw it in the garage and pot all these plants that are just sitting on my floor right now on my kitchen floor.
You're breaking it, Kelly.
I also,
Can y'all hear me?
I picked up some fertilizer.
You break it up when you talk.
You breaking up me?
No, Shelly is.
Shelly actually here.
Okay. I was gonna say, I bought some fertilizer because I know all my fertilizer went by way of the unkept.
Oh boy.
So I picked up some at Ollie's as well, just especially for the beds that I have cleaned out already.
So what did you find? So what fertilizer did you buy at Ollie's? Out of curiosity.
I don't know the name of it. But it's a 5-2 something.
Oh, so organic. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. It's supposed to be like composted greens or something like that, or something they say.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
It was $4.99 for a 3-pound bag.
I think I got that before one time.
Yeah, and I think it's supposed to cover 50 square feet.
Okay.
3 cups is good for 50 square feet, they say. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna get 2 of them. That's a good start.
Yeah.
And we'll go from there. So that's what I bought. Oh, another update. Should have been garden update. We were talking about fishing motion last time.
Yes.
And I have a neighbor that goes fishing. She and her husband. So I reached out to her. And she said, when we go, you can have my fish guts. It's okay. So now I got to learn how to make fishing motion. But hey, it's free.
Yeah, you got to process.
We'll see how it work out.
Yeah.
We'll see how it work out. Headed to Georgia, I did get a notice about wood burning ban because of fires. And yeah, especially if it's been dry, you have to be very careful with burning because it just take a little something to spark off something. So be careful out there, y'all. All right. Anybody else have a purchase update? I'm just gonna call people. Come on. Why you thinking? Shelly, you ready to do a purchase update?
I don't think I've purchased anything.
I'm gonna let you think about it for another 30 seconds.
Yeah, I was gonna let you go back through your Amazon and go through your debit card and then come back.
Well, I don't know. When she called me the other day, she might be too busy to shop.
What did I tell you the other day?
I said you was just busy. I said you might have been too busy to shop.
Yeah, it's been insanely busy. So I did purchase the one thing I did purchase for the garden. I bought the roll. I don't know why I feel like I might have told y'all I ordered this the last time. It's a roll of edging to edge my flower bed board. I think that's the last thing I bought, y'all. I've been good.
Good.
I was trying to buy something else. I don't know if Chaz is still in here. And she told me I ain't need it, so I ain't ordering.
All right, Chaz. She gonna help you out.
She said marigolds.
I didn't buy marigolds. I bought those weeks ago.
Yeah.
All right. So you think you good, Shirley? All right, Jacqueline. What you buy, lady?
I bought the petunias, red, white, and blue. While I was in there, they had 20% off at Ace Hardware Store for burpee seeds. So I've been wanting some lemon balm. So I picked up some lemon balm. And I know Chaz sent me some rosemary, but I still want to try to grow it for myself. So I bought some rosemary seeds. But guess what? We had a rainstorm yesterday. And guess where those seed packets were? Outside on the on my gardening table. So at this point, I have to now just get those in and pot them up and see if I get anything because the whole package got soaking wet. So there's that. And then it's just been a bunch of chicken stuff like bolts and drill bits and everything because I broke 3 starter drill bits in this whole project because I'm using Trex decking. It was free. Someone was giving it away on Facebook Marketplace. So why do I need to buy wood if I can get free Trex decking? And let me tell you, let the 60 mile per hour wind come. That tractor ain't going nowhere. That thing is as heavy as a mug to move. So the chickens will probably blow out before the chickens go anywhere. So that's all I've been buying, just a bunch of stuff. But I kept all my receipts and I will be making the returns for all the stuff that I have not used that I just bought extras of because I didn't know if I needed 5-inch bolts or 6-inch bolts or 7-inch bolts or 4-inch bolts. So I bought them all and then I'll just return what I don't use. I was just at the point that I was like, I'm just buying it all because I kept going back and forth. And I'm like, I'll just get it done that way.
So can you just you think they will germinate in their seed packet?
They might germinate in that seed packet, but I'm just gonna go ahead and just get them planted up tomorrow. Tomorrow I have a free day.
Yeah. So somebody said our impatience good garden flowers. I know I was talking, but
yes, they're great. They just
good.
Need to be for shade. They're going to be shades unless there are I forget what kind of impatiens. There's another impatiens that are for sun, but
impatiens.
Your sun patients. They have to be sun patients. If not, they're just regular impatiens. They're going to need some shade. So like under tomatoes, under peppers, under plants that are going to give it some good shade.
Okay, cool. All right. Cynthia. What you buy, little girl?
Nothing.
Now that one I believe.
She been working too hard. She be like, I'm working. I ain't buying nothing.
I have been doing PR work like crazy. Yeah. So.
So
I've been working on Master Gardener stuff that you say PR stuff. We started our community garden. So it was working with Vigo Garden and we ordered 20 beds from Vigo Garden for
a discount.
Oh, they gave us a good discount.
Okay,
they gave us a discount, and because we're nonprofit, we didn't have to pay the sales tax, which was nice. So hopefully those will get delivered very soon. But that's the big, from a Master Gardener point of view, that was huge for us to get the beds in, and of course from a good quality, and of course listening to different ones that have said Yep, a good quality that'll be there for years. So, yep, doing all the extra stuff has taken a lot of my time for my own garden.
Okay, you're just busy. You all over the place. Shelly said she planning out sweet potato slips and peas. You put them outside? Sweet potato slips?
Already? Sweet potato slips? All
And
right.
peas. All right, girl.
Okay.
Listen, go ahead.
Yes,
Thank you.
I had them. I told y'all I had to get stuff out the house. They
What
had
is it?
rooted some of them very nicely.
But you're 7B, so you're good. Yeah, I'm not quite out of the woods yet.
When I tell you it was cold the other day, it was like 80-something degrees, and then it was like 40.
It was cold today. It was 50 degrees.
It's cool today. Y'all see me here doing this because I don't want to turn the heat on yet.
It was cool today. Yeah.
Let me tell you what it got up to today. I think we got up to 67 today.
Oh, you 67.
83 here.
Yeah, and then tomorrow it's supposed to be like 70s and supposed to be 62 and rain Tuesday. But I need to get back outside and clear another garden bed. I'm trying to do at least 2 a week. I mean, by minimum 2 a week. Right. And that's trying to fit them in between my physical therapy days. Because I don't want to, y'all know, trying to mess up my hookup. Cynthia was like, Roscheeta, watch your back. Watch your back.
Girl.
I got my chair. I got my little thing cutting that stuff down. So if you haven't made your rounds, go ahead and make your rounds. If you're new and you don't know what making the rounds is, we need you, we ask of you. That's what it is. We ask of you to go one day I'm gonna learn how to use this. Around to each channel, right? You got Shelly Homestead's Hideaway, Roscheeta Monique, Four Seasons Garden, and Cici's Texas Garden. Go to each channel, subscribe, like, comment. I put my link in the comments. At one point I did, and somebody asked me to do that last week, but I think what it does is it shows up on mine as a hyperlink, but not a hyperlink on other pages. So I don't know what to do about that. But anyway, and if you look in the description, the links to the channels are in my description of the Garden Girls Chat and Chew in the description box. All right. So you are welcome to do that. And we appreciate you for doing that. We have 41 people in the live. We're going to talk about soil and soil health today. We're going to talk about how to get started with the garden, because I had a couple people ask me those questions in my real life, in my offline life. I say my real life. This is real life too. Be real. In my offline life. And so I was like, well, maybe we should cover that. Just the basics. And then if we have some people that are new to gardening here on Facebook, feel free to ask your questions. If you want us to do something to go more in depth on another live, we can do that as well. But I figured that would be something good to start the conversation with on this week. So we've done our 2-week updates. Who has a mail call? And I'm gonna follow Jacqueline's lead. Cynthia, what you getting in the mail this week?
Well, I got some rosemary from former Chaz's grandma's rose bush. So it is outdoors, so I don't have it in here to show y'all, but I did receive some rosemary. So thank you, former Chaz. I also received this nice box here, which I will be doing a reveal of this, but this is from Miss Cheryl's Bubbles and Things, her business, and which the one I did my sexy bath time soap commercial. She sent me a whole box of new stuff. So that will be coming.
I forgot I muted myself. We gonna get the other leg, Cynthia?
Girl, I don't know.
You're gonna show one leg, so you're gonna get the other leg.
Right. But yeah, so it's a nice big thick box of all kind of stuff in there. So that, and I want to say, did I get mail from somebody? I did get some seeds in, but that was from my this weekend. I got all these seeds. Yeah, so I'm good. I didn't have to order nothing. Yeah.
That's it. Well, listen, y'all. I was in Ali's and they had a seed display up, And I was like, oh, seeds. And I was talking about, I want some cilantro and stuff. I don't care for cilantro, but I think it'd be good to have in the garden, just some things.
Mm-hmm.
And I was picking up seed packets, and I was like, they won't, but the Holy Ghost said, girl, look at them prices. I looked, and it's like, okay, $3.49. So I looked up $3.49 packets are $1, are $2.19 or $1.79. I said, I ain't paying as much for these few seeds. I put them seeds right back in this. Y'all know where I'm gonna get them seeds from. And I'm waiting for him to have a few off. You know what I'm saying? But I was like, wait a minute, this ain't really no good sale for these little few seeds. I can go to the doctor maybe still and get some flower seeds and different things.
And they're getting less and less in the packages.
Yeah. So I was like, I ain't getting them. So I'm glad I didn't do that. But I didn't get any garden mail. Jacqueline, did you get anything in the mail?
I got rosemary from Farmer Chaz. Mine are in the hydroponics, and I think I need to get them out because I don't think rosemary likes wet feet. So but I had to put them somewhere in order to keep them alive until life can get a little bit better. So this week, like I said, all this stuff's going to get potted out of here. And then we do have to get stuff to the shelter. We're starting the shelter herb garden on Wednesday. And I started some basil, some mint, some oregano, some cilantro. So a few more herbs that we're going to be taking out to the herb garden so that the folks that are living there, they'll be able to grab some herbs from the herb garden and use it for their cooking. So I'm super excited for that coming up on Wednesday.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Yes. Anybody, Shelly, did you get any garden mail?
You ain't getting no rosemary?
I don't have any. No, I didn't want any because I have rosemary.
But you don't have Farmer Chaz's grandma South Carolina rosemary.
You're right, I don't, but I declined to get it.
Okay.
She's like, I decline.
So Janet put a note in there.
So she shouldn't put rosemary clippings in hydroponics. I think temporarily you could, right?
Yeah, but as soon as you can, get it out because I can tell mine need to get out.
Okay.
I think
it's just for a holding place, not a permanent place.
Yeah, correct. They don't like wet feet, but I needed to put them somewhere to keep them at least a little bit alive till I can get to them. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So don't the mail call.
Chaz, what you laughing at, girl?
If you have topics or questions, I don't know what she laughing at. The fact that you didn't want her grandmama's rosemary. You're welcome, Janet. You're more than welcome. So y'all, we're a little early before with our recess. So let's go ahead. We got 15 minutes. So thank y'all for coming on. Y'all invite some new gardeners or people that's interested in gardening. Send the link out. So we're gonna talk about this. Congratulations, Jacqueline, on being a great auntie.
Yes, thank you. I'm excited.
Hey, auntie. Y'all, speaking about an auntie, I'll take people babies. So I'm sitting in church. And this one young man, he kept telling me, he was like, my son got big jaws. You can go pinch his jaws. But I hadn't really held the baby. I go to sit down and that baby did like this. I said, oh, come on. Y'all, he's so chunky and he had the biggest jaws and he just chewed his fingers and just laid on me and I just rocked him. Eventually he just went to sleep. I said, oh, come on.
Oh,
he's so sweet. I said, can I take him home? Yeah, I know I wasn't taking no baby home, but he was a good, sweet baby. So yeah, babies are so sweet. So let's talk about soil health for a brief minute. 12 minutes actually. What are these? My notes say? Y'all, I put the notes in here. Hold on. Soil health is where it's at. Who's growing in soil? I know we're growing hydroponics. We get our liquid solution and we can just put it in there. And if I'm doing mine correctly, I only have to add fertilizer every time I add some fresh water to it. Right. And so that's just really simple. But when you talk about soil health, especially not just in your raised bed, but if you are in your native soil, really knowing what your soil is doing is very important. And it's the most important, especially if you're trying to be healthier, growing healthier food. You want your food to have the nutrients it needs to have. You want to have the growth that you desire to feed your family. So having healthy soils where it's at is most important. And Jacqueline said, if you have limited funds, right, don't worry about the trellising. Don't worry about going to get a cattle panel and all the stuff that we like to have to make it what we want. But just to start off, put your money into your soil. Put your money into your soil. It will pay off. I was about to go to church. Serving the Lord will pay off. After a while, listen, put your money in your soil. It's going to pay off, okay? Not just this season, but for seasons to come. And I will also add to that, you want to look at what you can grow that will help your soil. I was listening to someone some time ago, so I can't tell you what those plants are, but there's some plants that help, that the roots go deep, so it helps sort of kind of aerate your soil. You know how sometimes the top layer is really clay and, for lack of a better word, tight. And then the more you dig, it's still sort of kind of tight. But if you get something with deep roots, something that's hardy that can go in and break up that ground. I feel like preaching, Jesus. I was like, oh, that's about break up fallow ground. But go in and break up that ground. Yeah, I just love church. Y'all just gonna have to deal with it.
Hey, the scripture does talk about the sower. I'm telling the good ground. So hey, that's what the Lord was teaching us. So yeah, just stay here.
That's why I love the garden. I don't know if y'all was on the second live I did the other day. It's something about that garden. Every time it will preach to you if you let it. If you let it. But you want something that's sturdy, that's going to break up that ground, and have roots to go out. Your beans, we talk about beans leaving nitrogen in your soil. We talk about things that will shade the soil if you have a place that you feel like it's getting too much sun and it's sort of kind of leaching everything out. Do you need to add shade to that? So you want to learn how to protect your soil. You want to learn how to feed your soil. Your soil feeds your plant. And I added, because Jacqueline already started, but I added, you may want to self-test or invest in your basic soil testing. I got a kit from my Michigan State University Extension office a few years ago. I want to say it was $14.99. I think it was $14.99. And you can take it, you can send your soil test in, and you send it with a self-addressed stamped envelope, and they'll just put your thing in the, your results in. Or if you don't, I think now you have the option to have the results emailed to you. And so it's inexpensive in most places to get a basic soil test. And I would say if you're doing in-ground, you definitely probably want to do a soil test, especially if you're in a place like here. Flint, Michigan is a factory town, right? And some of these houses were built on top of old factories. Sometimes, like my garden is on top of where a house used to sit. So you might want to just see what's going on, there. I didn't do soil tests. I got that thing, and then I decided I'm not putting nothing in this ground because I'm not digging it up. So I did raised beds, and so I haven't been testing, but it is something that is beneficial. Jacqueline, what you want to add about soil health?
I think you brought up a great thing. It needs to be tested if you're definitely in ground, right? You need to know what kind of ground you're working with to properly making sure that you are properly feeding your soil. You don't want to overfeed your soil because we don't want to cause any kind of future issues in our environment. So making sure that you get that done. Here in Virginia, our extension office does it for $10. So getting that done with someone who's a professional, of course, like Roscheeta says, you can't afford it. You want to get one of the self-tests that you can purchase at the store. But I think $10 is probably even cheaper than what you would even pick it up at one of the big box stores or even Amazon. So, and then you're going to get something that is for your area as well, because each extension officer's office is geared for your state. So definitely feed your soil, like Roscheeta says. It will feed your plants. You can buy the best plants. You can go buy $16 plants at the big box store or even at the local nursery. But if your soil is not right, that plant is not going to grow. So if you have a limited budget, put it into your soil. And then if you also sell if you sell your produce, like some of the folks here in the chat does, and I know that Cici has plans of doing that, your soil test is actually free through the extension office. So always think about that. If you're selling to your neighbors some of your produce, that makes you a seller of your produce, and you can send in your test to the extension office for free in Virginia. I'm not sure what it is in other states.
Right. So it's good to get a hold of your extension office. Cynthia, you want to talk a little bit about soil health? I know you got some things in soil. You put your roselle. Come on now. I don't know what she got in that soil over there, but that roselle was roselling, okay? So let's talk about soil, Cynthia.
As for me, the good thing about my soil is that these were cow pastures before we had land out here. This was just cattle land. So that helped a lot. So all the years of cattle being on the property has definitely made the soil really good. I haven't had many, soil issues. So I plant in ground, but I also do raised beds or container growing. So if I've seen someone have put in about clay soil, then you may have to do the raised beds or do the container growing and not deal with that, or no dig beds, putting your cardboard down and putting your raised bed on top and filling your soils in that you bring in. There's always a way to grow besides in ground, so don't let that stop you with trying to garden. And then things we was talking about, shading plants that brings shade to other plants that need it. Also with the beans with the nitrogen, there's also like pigeon peas, which is like a big tree in a way, but it shades and it also gives nitrogen back into the soil. And things like marigolds and mustards is good if you have nematode issues, having that root knot nematodes in there, that's not good for your plants. It doesn't allow the plants to bring up nutrients because it messes
mustard
up.
greens.
Mustard greens.
Okay.
Yeah, mustard greens, marigolds are all good for that. Hey, Hands, welcome in. But yeah, things like that for your soil. And if, like I said, if you can't do in ground, there's always, getting your compost, getting a good local soil would be good. If you can find something for your area, if there may be some businesses, like family-owned businesses that have the soil, and they're usually a cheaper price than the big box stores. Go with that, because for us in Texas, we have Landscapers Pride. It's a Texas-owned company, family-owned company. So it's cheap. I paid $4. Other places up north in Dallas, they pay $2.50 for 40 pounds of soil. 40 pounds. So I would check your local areas and see if y'all have a family-owned business that has the soil that they know that's good for your plants in your area. So
I think checking in, now that you say that, checking on Facebook Marketplace is also great for, like, if you want some cow manure, right? Or some chicken manure, or if you want some rabbit manure, or even some alpaca poop. Because alpaca, of course, is cold. Rabbit is cold, so you can throw that in there immediately. Mushroom compost. We have a farmer here. He gives away mushroom compost, tons of it. And I'm going to be putting those all in the bottom of my raised bed. So try to find ways to build your soil for free. And I'm telling you, you can check Facebook Marketplace, and you could possibly, if not, find it for free at a very low price. And they'll even tell you what kind of fertilizer that they're using. so that you know whether you want to use that in your, and if they don't put it on there, ask. Say, hey, what kind of fertilizer are you using in your grass that your cows or your horses are eating? So then you're knowing, okay, I don't want to use that manure because of what it is, but you're able to ask those questions ahead of time.
Right.
Awesome. Somebody, there's a landscaping business here that does topsoil, garden soil, or if you want it mixed with compost, was it vermiculite and perlite? They'll do that for you as well. You can get it by the bed loads, or you can get it bagged. I haven't really checked into it, but there's some options there. Shelly,
speaking of that, by the yard, usually is a better price than the bags.
Yes,
you can get a neighbor, or if you got a truck, it's better to get a yard of soil instead of having to carry those bags and pay that tax that's on them.
Exactly. Yep.
I'll be paying the tax. I ain't shoveling. But go ahead, Sally.
That's a good point, Roscheeta, though. I mean, some people might just need a little bit, right? You may not need a whole yard, or they may not have the place to put a whole yard, right?
Yeah.
So you got to weigh out what's best for you as a gardener.
Yeah, that's definitely true. Go ahead, Shelly. You got something you want to say about soil, Sweet Pea?
She's frozen again.
I think she's frozen. Let it go. There she goes.
Let it go. I know. I was gonna say, let it go.
Can y'all hear me?
I can hear you.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
I was saying I purchased my soil by the yard. Got for free 8x4 beds. So I had it delivered to the house and had some young people to scoop that soil and put it in the beds.
Come on, young people.
We can barely hear you over the sound.
You got music in the background?
Yes.
That's my husband driving and listening to his music.
Yeah,
well, we can't hear you because of the music.
Yeah. Yeah, we were talking about that. Man. I don't know why he don't want to listen to us while he driving.
That's right. And for real, that's right.
All right.
They said they don't know why you don't want to listen to us while you driving.
Come on now. He
that will keep him focused.
Right.
He's been driving since 6:30, so
oh boy.
But yeah,
6:30 this morning.
This evening. We didn't leave.
Oh girl.
You just started driving.
Yeah, but it's dark now. No, it's good. We've been up since 5:30.
Oh boy.
Y'all been humping.
He took a test this morning, and then he didn't get home until like 3:00. I feel like. But God is good, and we are on the road, and we'll be gone for a week, and then I'll get to see Jacqueline
over the weekend for a few more days.
Yeah.
Now, this is, I don't know if this how spatial stalling. I don't even know. I'm not even gonna say what they're supposed to say.
It's actually about the DE. I'm
talking about ants, spiders, beetles in my garden bed with diatomaceous earth harm my soil or my plants. You can use diatomaceous earth.
Right. Food grade diatomaceous earth. Make sure you got food grade diatomaceous earth for it. And it's
some of my strawberry plants today. I mean, not today, but yesterday.
Yeah, I gotta do something with
them real small red ants. I don't know. We think that they're attracted to the pavers that our patio is made out of because they're always all over the pavers. And I keep needing to do some research on that.
Right. I had pavers in my garden bed that I cleared out on Tuesday, this past Tuesday, and that's where the red ants were, just in that one corner.
Yeah, something about those pavers.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna have to start putting them in something until I need to use them because listen, I didn't realize how many was in there, and I took that tool and put it in the dirt, and when I pulled it back up, soil went flying, and all of a sudden I felt like bite here. I'm like, no, bite me.
I don't know if it's the pavers because I got pavers out there, and
I don't know. I know they were under those pavers. I was like, is it wet? Is it cool? What y'all doing? I don't know. But it's just in that one end. It's not in the whole bed. So we'll figure it out.
So I just did a search and it actually says the red ants, which are often pavement ants on patio pavers, are a common issue. They nest in the sand joints and can cause pavers to settle. Very interesting. So it is clearly the sand in the pavers that is attracting, because that's the only place they seem to gather is all over the patio pavers.
Well, I have to figure something else out with my life. But listen, y'all. Anything y'all want to say about soul before we reset the room? If you're new, listen, you'll have a chance to hear the theme song. If you, let me see what I got. Hey, GT.
Hello,
make you drive and listen. Yeah, we're gonna make him drive and listen. He's the hired help. He do what she say. Not what he want.
Listen, we not gonna push it that far, Roscheeta.
I said he gonna do it now.
Roscheeta said you gonna listen to us because I make you do what you need to do.
Because he's a hired help.
He's a hired help.
You the hired help. He said, I'm gonna listen to you because of what?
We'll talk about that offline.
Exactly.
So listen, y'all, we're gonna reset the room. Welcome. If you haven't had a chance to make the rounds, go ahead and do that. If you haven't had a chance to share, we're gonna talk about starting a garden. So let's talk to our new people. And actually, this is something I need to go over every time I want to add a garden bed to my space. Is some of the same steps anyway, so it's good to review. But share this with somebody. Go ahead and enjoy the reset. When I find it, go ahead and enjoy the reset, and we'll be back shortly.
Pull up a chair, we growing something good. Who's in the garden today? Roscheeta, Shelly, Jacqueline, Cici, Texas sunshine. Garden girls, yeah, we here. From the soil to the soul, let the conversation grow. Backyard dreams, garden schemes, let the good vibes flow. We talk seeds and seasons, life lessons in between. Laugh a little louder when the harvest ain't what it seems. Yeah. It's the garden girls, yeah, we here. Garden girls, it's the garden girls, yeah, we here. Garden girls, it's the garden girls, yeah, we here. Garden girls, it's the garden girls, yeah, we here. Garden girls, yeah. Welcome to the garden, everybody eats here. It's the garden girls, yeah, we here. Garden girls, it's the garden girls, yeah, we here. Garden girls, it's the garden girls, yeah, we here. Garden girls, it's the garden girls, yeah, we here. Garden girls, garden
Hey, welcome back. Listen, welcome back to the Garden Girls Chat Show. Thank y'all for being here. Thank you for sharing, liking, commenting, subscribing, and all the things, participating in the chat. We really appreciate you over here. All right, so now we're going to go with our next topic: how to start a garden. Listen, I ain't do none of this stuff. I didn't do none of this stuff, y'all. I just did it and had to adjust. So we're gonna go through some simple steps. We're not gonna try to inundate you with all the different options. Thank you, official Jamie. We appreciate you for helping encourage people to thumbs up, like, comment, subscribe. Congratulations on 600 subs, Miss Shelley. Yes, Miss Shelley, moving on up.
Moving on up
to the east side. Come on. I looked up, that's at 608, and I've been missing here and there these last few weeks. But listen, these shorts, I don't know what it is about these vertical shorts, though. Shelly, these vertical shorts be doing it. For me, I'm gonna say, yeah,
they push them out. They push them out.
Yeah, the people are subscribing, and so I'm so grateful for it. All right. So I see we have some people on here. I ain't gonna get to calling a whole bunch of names, y'all. But thank y'all for being here, and congratulations. Anybody else hit some milestones? I heard Cynthia talking about her PR. You know, she you know.
Yeah, that should be a regular. We need to add that to the regular lineup. Milestone.
Girl.
Celebrate.
I always do product reviews as I grow and ground.
I mean, look. Honestly, and this is not no, little whatever, but
humble brag. But go ahead.
We're not throwing no brands out. But look, I'm on a limited budget. YT don't pay that much, and so majority of the things that you see out there in my beds, as for raised beds, as for the hydroponic stuff indoors, the grow lights, the hose reels, all that kind of stuff, y'all, that was all product reviews. It didn't cost me nothing but a video that I was going to make about the product anyway, and so if you want to do that type of stuff, email me. We could talk about that on another thing, but I can help you through that if that's something that you're interested in doing. Y'all seen that I did recently of the elevated raised bed, as it is called. I now have an elevated raised bed due to a product review I did. Oh, yes. Oh, definitely. I have elevated to a raised higher bed that I don't have to bend down, y'all. It's right there. I can just reach and do stuff. It is cool to have that. And that same company reached out again as soon as I put that video. They was like, "Hey, would you like this product too?" I was like,
"Sure would," and sure, and yes, I do. Thank you.
Yes, I do. And I mean, this is gonna have surveillance, so I like that. Things are coming along, but just so even if you're not getting paid much or anything, but having a channel. And it's advertising, which you're going to be doing anyway. And that YT already put commercials on everybody video. It don't matter if you get paid or not. Mm-hmm. They put it on everybody. So why not
get paid?
Get some? Yeah, they get paid regardless. So why not get some kickback and get you some products? So that's all I have to say.
Right. Thank you, Cynthia, for that encouragement. So y'all think about it. Jones True said, "This is the second time I bought seeds, but when they grew, they were something else. The pack says green beans, but what's growing is squash." The question is, where did you buy them? The seller of the seeds, probably whoever supplies their seed, may have mislabeled the seed. So if you bought them from company X, don't buy no more from company X for a couple of years. I mean, for this year. Because all their green beans are probably squash.
Or give that company a chance. Give them a call and say, "Hey."
Yeah, give them a call and say, "No, I would buy them. I would let them swap them out."
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. As if you were last year, was it last year Lisa had that same problem? Or was it the year before last?
2023.
She had some type of green and it was another type of green.
Yep.
So, and it was just how it was supplied to them and was labeled. So, I mean, it's just the inventory issue. And so reach out to them. And if they can't get you the actual green bean seed, maybe they'll just give you a discount on your next order and you can get your green bean seeds from somewhere else. So, yeah, so that has been known to happen. It's a simple inventory mistake. I know sometimes we want to make it So never mind, I ain't gonna talk about conspiracy theories, but sometimes it's just a mistake. It's just a mistake, y'all. All right. Next topic: how to start a garden. Did I miss any questions? How to start a garden. I had somebody talk to me. They have a space already behind the house that they're going to grow in. And so we were just talking, and she said, "I'm going to join your garden group." I said, "Well, I'll send you a link for Sunday." Right. And just trying to encourage them to grow. Sometimes we feel like we have to do everything in order. And I'm gonna give y'all some steps, and you can do them in this order if that's what you so deemed to do. But some of us be like, I'm gonna grow something. Let me put this planter out here, put this soil in, and put my seeds out here. And you be like, man, this ain't enough sun for this stuff. And then you get another bed and put it somewhere else. Listen, it's all a growing curve. Last year I put my collars. I was like, not last year, in 2024. I decided, let me put my collars in the back of the house. That way I can grow them all through the summer. It's hot and it's a little bit of shade back there, so it won't be too bad. Mm-hmm. Well, when I actually sat in my backyard over time, I only get sun for a couple of hours in the morning. Those trees shade that backyard all day long. And greens ain't growing like I want. There ain't no sun, baby. That's why. So you can't put greens back there. Okay. So there's just things we learn along the way. So listen, step one, that's fine. Let's go. Where to put your garden?
Can we do a little survey to see like any first time gardeners?
Okay, yeah, I have any first time gardeners here. I want to be gardeners.
Yeah, or new gardeners. Like one in your first or second year, put a 1 in the chat. And if you've been growing more than 3 years, put a 2 in the chat.
Okay.
Just to kind of like feel of the room.
A feel of the room.
Feel of the room. This is your first, second year growing. Put a 1 in the chat if you've been doing this more than. Oh, there's a newbie. Okay, good. The Nichols. J3.
Look, go ahead and put that 1. We'll teach you something.
Yep. All right, third year. Use for all path. Okay. First year, 6 months for Panda. All right. This is a perfect topic then. Roscheeta, you were right on point with this one, lady. Second spring for Sonia.
Okay.
Because I know sometimes I come on here and now quote unquote assume, because sometimes we do that.
We do.
That a lot of people that are already here and engaging in the chat have been here have been gardening for some time.
Right. But and then I want to put something in. Look, I feel like I know the basics of gardening and everything, but every year I push myself with something I haven't grown or tried to grow or a different way of doing something. Mm-hmm. So it makes me back a newbie on different things, as for growing. I got the basics down. I know, how to. But there's some things that require a little more time on trying to understand how to do it. So, like my watermelons, I plan on getting some huge watermelons this year. My leaves are looking really nice. I just want to throw that out there.
That's a great point, Cynthia.
Huh?
That's a great point about being a newbie at something every year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And even like if you've been growing in ground and then you go to raised beds, that's still a new experience.
Oh, it is.
You go from raised bed to containers, new experience. Mm-hmm. And you go from there to hydroponics, new experience.
Yes.
And so we can all learn
something. You added green stalk.
And the green stalk.
Green stalk is a whole different gardening. Yeah, that's a whole different gardening way.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Every year is different. What worked one year may not work and be productive the next.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Gardening is a lesson in patience and expectations.
Amen.
There you go. That's right now. And patience is a virtue. Okay. It is a virtue.
Gardening will humble you real quick too.
You thought you knew. You thought you knew.
Especially with the weather. Especially with the weather. Be like, oh, you think you got to figure it out? And then all the plants die and you're like, you gotta start over.
We gonna send you some ice in the middle of March. Middle of April. Oh my gosh. So listen. Okay, when you start a new garden, here's a question already. In my case, a container garden, should you buy the soil, grow medium, or let it rest a few months, or is there a disadvantage in planting immediately?
Great question.
Can I give my 2 cents?
Yeah.
I'm not a master gardener, but I'm gonna tell you what I learned when I did my raised beds. Whatever is in that soil, like if you got something that says a few amendments in it and it says it's going to feed your plant for whatever time, if you leave that soil in there uncovered, untouched, that sun is going to leach everything about that. When you go to plant, that soil is going to be dry and pathetic. My daddy told me, but I didn't listen. And I'm like, why my plants ain't doing nothing? And then I was like, somebody was like, you need to fertilize. And I was like, I guess I put some fertilizer on it, put some fertilizer on it. They was like, woo, thank you. So I would say don't wait. Don't wait. Use it now. All right, Jacqueline.
So, Master Gardener, I garden primarily in containers. I do the self-irrigated planters. So if you're growing in a SIPS or a container that is not going to be touching the ground, not in a raised bed. Containers is different than raised beds. It's a whole different soil medium in raised beds than in containers. So I'm talking about containers. Your potting mix. I don't want to hear about garden soil in a container. It has to be potting soil, potting mix, not garden. It has to be that light, airy that you're putting perlite and some of that, all that good stuff to give it some aeration. You don't need to let it sit. You can go ahead and just add all your fertilizer, then add your dolomitic lime at that time as well. If I'm not going to plant and I'm going to wait a few months, I will go ahead and put in my dolomitic lime so it can get the pH to the level that it needs to be. And I won't put my fertilizer in, like Roscheeta says, I will cover that bed. Cover that bed. I don't care if you do pine shavings, if you do shredded mulch, if you do plastic, something, cover it over, get your lime, get the pH up. And when you're ready to start to plant, that's when you're going to put your fertilizer in. Don't waste your fertilizer. Just don't put it in till then. But you get started right away, because all my pots that are now going to be redoing some of mine, as soon as I put them in there, we're rolling.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I got one thing as well. A lot of times on the bags, it say how long the fertilizer is good for, but how long it's been sitting at the warehouse or at the place until you get it, and how long it's been traveling from there. So that stuff might not even be there if it's 8 feet in 9 months. It may only have like 2 months fertilizer left in it, you know.
Okay, that's a thought. Anything you want to add, Shirley?
No, not right now.
Okay. All right. So how to start a garden? I think that's one step we didn't bring in. Where are you gonna garden at? Are you gonna be in ground? Are you gonna do containers? I would say if you're like me, and you don't know where to plant, you just throw stuff out there, you can move a container. You can move a grow bag. Listen, I'm gonna put it right here and then move them over here. That's what I did with my sweet potato slips last time. When you start a new garden, we did that already. Okay. So that's the question. That's the first thing. So we're gonna ask ourselves some questions. Where are you gonna put your garden? Where are you gonna put it? Are you gonna do containers, raised beds? Do you already have a spot? Are you gonna do it in ground? Okay. In this spot, is it near a water source? We ain't walking down to the river or the creek and carrying buckets of water. Okay. So you need to think about that. I didn't think about that. Convenient to access. So me and my daddy talk about it the last couple of years. So there's a gate, because it was a house, right? So there's a gate at my house and there's a gate at his house. I would love to have a door or a swinging gate opening right there, instead of having to walk all the way to the front of the house from the backyard and go all the way around down to the garden space. So I didn't think about that. Convenience and of access, and 6 to 8 hours of direct sun. Can I tell you that my notes from today, I didn't come with this on top of my head. I used information from my extension office. Okay. So I'm just repurposing information. I'm not taking or using it verbatim, but this has come from the Michigan State University Extension Office. I just summarized some of these things, right? So if you like me, hop on the internet, find your extension office. You probably can find a PDF, read it through, print it off, save it, whatever you want, and they'll probably tell you some of the same things, and things that's good for your area. So these are things to think about your garden, where to put your garden. And then plan your arrangement. You're gonna do a little, do a lot. You just want a couple of tomato, I was gonna say trees.
Well, they can grow the trees.
It will be bushes, okay? You want a few tomatoes, and like me, I just wanted some collards, some mustards, and turnips. That's what I kept saying. But every time I planted the garden, I had squash, I had cucumber. Right. But what is it that you really want to grow? Mm-hmm. Choose your size, choose what to grow, and how much do you want to plant? You just want a few plants. You want quite a few plants. If you're like me, you want to share with somebody, right?
Grow what you gonna eat.
Exactly. Say it again.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Say it for the people in the back.
What you're going to
grow
eat.
what you're going to eat.
Yeah, grow what.
Unless you like Cynthia, you don't grow what you're gonna give away.
Because she don't like tomatoes.
She don't like watermelon. She about to grow out this watermelon. She gonna give it away, but that's fine. Because if
that's probably why you can't grow big watermelon, because you don't know what it tastes like. To like, oh, I gotta grow it big because it tastes so good. That's a problem.
So yeah, choose what you're gonna eat. Grow what you're gonna grow, what you're gonna eat. What does your family eat? Mm-hmm. And how much to plant. If you only eat a few green beans, like our family, we love green beans, except for my dad. He don't like green beans, right? But he likes sweet peas. Mama eat sweet peas. Me and my sister's like, I don't care about no sweet peas. So that's gonna show you how much of what you want to plant, right? Mm-hmm. I think I didn't have as many cucumbers last time. Say it again.
What'd you say, Shelly?
I said you gotta plant them cucumbers for Daddy.
That's what I was about to say. I was like, my cucumbers struggled, but it was not enough for the man that was walking out there getting a cucumber every day. Okay, so I know that I'm gonna have to succession plant my cucumbers, and I'm gonna plant more cucumbers, right? So I'm gonna have cucumbers everywhere. And then you're gonna choose. Do you feel like learning how to garden? Do you want to learn how to start seeds, or do you just want to start with transplants this year? That's a decision. That's a decision. And you have options.
It's a decision, but I think to give good advice, right? If it's your first time and you've never done it, buy some transplants. Get your toe in the dirt instead of putting yourself through the stress. I'm not gonna say it's hard work, but it's gonna take some research, right? And if you just want to throw yourself out there and just do a little bit, go to your local nursery, go to the big box store, buy that one tomato, that one cucumber, that one lettuce, whatever. And I would say starting your own seeds, I won't say it's not hard work, but you need to have the correct setup, because you don't want leggy plants. You don't want to have the gnats. You don't want there could be a lot of different variables that could go in there. Mm-hmm. So if you're going to start a garden, don't deter. So go get those transplants. I know that Cici used to say you weren't a real gardener if you didn't start your own seeds, but I've heard her change her ways, and I was so thankful to hear that.
But and I want to add to that. I said I was gonna go deep, but let's go ahead and talk about if you're going to go to the store, even your local nursery or your big box store. If you're looking at basil, and basil is $4.99, grab the one that got like 4 basil in it. Mm-hmm. Yes. You know what I'm saying? Like maximize your buck, and then and go from there. Mm-hmm. Okay, I would say make sure you check your soil. Make sure you're not transplanting no stuff. Just when you get it, just take a look at it and see what it looks like. But yes, I would agree. When you start with transplants. My dad always grew from transplants, so it wasn't even. I never even when I first started, that's all I did was buy transplants. Never even thought about starting my own seed. Yeah. So plan your garden, your arrangement, your garden size. I had something in here. I was scrolling through the comments. We have a combo gardener here. She made a rain catcher. Jones truth. I keep saying I'm gonna catch some rain, but I ain't caught none yet. And the other week when we had all that water and the flood water would have been a good time to catch some rainwater, but I didn't. Went on by the wayside. Lord help me. All right.
Yeah, I want to do rainwater eventually.
Ricky Shire said enjoys walking down to the creek for water exercise. Listen, you walk on. You walk on. Because when I was able, I didn't want to.
I did that for about 3 times because the chicken tractors are about, I don't know. It's a good, how about my watch has been saying you've been exercising a whole lot here lately. So I'd walk the 5-gallon bucket down to the chicken tractors, fill it up, walk it back. And I was like, now next time they go on the back of the gator and I'm driving it down because water get heavy. It's 8.5 pounds. I know how many pounds it is. 8.5 pounds for a 5-gallon bucket. And let me tell you, when you're at my age and you have been doing this kind of lifting, you feel it real fast.
Joe True said, I like so many vegetables. I try to pick what I like most or what I don't want to pay prices for in the store.
Great.
And so that's a way to whittle it down. When I was at my apartment, they closed their grocery. It's a small Kroger. And at that particular Kroger, you could walk in and you could buy like 2 celery stalks, right? Like literal individual stalks. You can go in there and buy like 1 or 2 onions, so you wouldn't, as a person, just want, it was just me, that don't want to have all this stuff. I could make a good grocery trip cheaply, right? But now you may not have those options. So the thing is, what is it that you like most? Every time you look at it, you be like, oh, it costs too much. I can't believe I'm paying this. What is that thing? So that'll help you choose what to grow. What is this? Root bags, watering second, third day. Third day began to wilt in the reserve state. I don't know what that's about. Is that a continuation of something? We trial bags with same plant. Second watering. Second day watering. One with third day watering. Oh, to see how long they can go without water? Is that what you're saying? Okay, we're gonna keep on going. Is that what you're saying, Wicker Project?
He does different things.
All right. Different things. So listen, so now you've the next point is, where were we? Garden layout. Use a diagram or diary. That's what they said on the thing. I am using an app where I put the sizes of my garden bed. So supposedly I have 8 gardens. So each bed I made a garden, and I just started putting what I want in those plants. And then I fell off and I went back and looked at it. So I still have to plan 3 garden beds. But I think I didn't plan those because I wasn't sure what all I wanted to grow, because I would do that like in the middle of the night when I'm at my parents' and I didn't have my list of seeds. Like Miss Jacqueline always recommend that we keep an inventory of our seeds, but I don't have one. So that's that. So make a diagram, like, so kind of map it out. I know sometimes we have a visual in our mind, but sometimes we need to put it to paper, and that helps. Anybody got something to say about garden layout? Use a diagram. Jacqueline don't have her big old thing near you, do you? Where you can fold it out.
You do need to go get it.
But no, I don't want to intimidate nobody. No.
Yeah. Garden layout is good, even if it's just a notebook piece of paper.
Right.
And you let us at least get started. And the reason your garden layout is good, because then you can also see, like, if you put it laid out your backyard, like Roscheeta said, she wanted to put her collard greens in the back. But if you shade your paper and say, okay, this is the part that gets shade, and then leave the part that gets light, and okay, I'm going to put all my cool season vegetables, or the ones that don't like a lot of sun, in this shady area. And then the part that has the sun, we're going to put our cucumbers, we're going to put our tomatoes, we're going to put our peppers in that spot. So even though you might think it's just a garden layout as far as where I'm going to plant things, even like use it to shade in, like, where am I going to get that 6 to 8 hours where the plants that need a lot of sun versus your plants that might only need 2 to 3 hours. or they need that shade in order to survive and thrive.
All right.
So I would say spend some time where you wanting to plant these. Go have, get you some tea or water or whatever. Sit out there and watch the sun. From sun rising to setting. You need to see if it's going which way over your house, what's getting shaded, how long it takes before that part is not shaded again, sun on it, so you can see where you need to plant certain things. Now, like I said, if you're doing containers, I remember when I was doing containers, I chased that sun. Here, I needed more sun here. No, I need to get it in the shade. But if you have a raised bed, or you're doing something or a green stock, you're not going to be able to move that, Are you going to be up there wheeling it around trying to get the sun on each side? But so really pay attention to how long the sun stands. That don't mean you have to be out there all day. If you can see it out your kitchen window or whatever, see how long that area has some sun. And then when it starts shading, if it goes over your house and the backside doesn't get any more sun after it gets up to noon, then you want to make sure that you're putting your cooler stuff in there, because they do need that sun to be on them for a while, and then it's off, so it don't cook them when it gets 12 to 3 o'clock. It's the highest time that the sun is in the sky. That's where you need to know where you have your plants. When I go to do my broccoli, I put my fall crop out in July. I know it's crazy to have it in July in Texas, but what I do, I have like a gazebo, little metal patio thing. I know when the sun falls on it in the morning time, then in the evening, it doesn't get as much on it. So I learned this is the bed I need to plant things in. And if I do have to put shade cloth, I can do it just for that area. But you just have to learn your sun, and it does change as the seasons change as well.
And I learned a tip from someone, and I've done it myself. I'll set my alarm like today. Tomorrow. I could get up tomorrow and set my alarm for 7 o'clock in the morning. Take a picture, because you don't remember. Our brains think we remember where the sun is. Take a picture on your phone. Set an alarm for 8 o'clock. Go out and take another picture. Go out at 9 o'clock. Every hour on the hour, take those pictures and then go back and take it from the same spot. And you'll be able to see, where am I getting the most shade and where am I getting the most sun as the day progresses. Because I have a big tree that sits right here. I know where the sun comes up, but I have seen where I'm putting my garden, where it's going to be very shaded versus having a lot of sun. So every year I do this, because our earth turns. Everyone knows that. And what you might do this year, 3 years later, 4 years later, it'll be in a different spot. The tree grows bigger. So take a day to take your pictures from 7 in the morning to 7 at night, and it'll give you a great picture of what your garden can look like from the sunlight.
Those are some good ideas, ladies. But look, yeah, I'll say those are some great ideas. And I'm sitting there like, I ain't about to do none of that. But thank you. That's why I don't know. That's why I didn't know my greens wasn't gonna grow back there.
So tomorrow you're gonna get you some tea and you're gonna sit out there.
No, I ain't about to do that tomorrow either. But I'm paying better attention.
I've done some of that over the years, and I do pay attention to the sun. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't usually sit out at the garden space, and then I do know what I did learn being at home is that planting around the house, the shadow from the house also moves. And so a lot of things, like my sweet potatoes, I'm not leaving them in the backyard like I did last time. They're going right out here in the middle of this lot where all the sun show up. So, you learn things. Somebody said, her lesson I learned when I buy transplants or seedlings, I rinse the seedling mix completely off the roots and bare plant root seedlings. That is an option if you don't trust the soil. That's an option if you're not sure to use organic and you want your stuff to be organic as possible. It'll be better than nothing. Okay. Let me see. Root bags. Okay. Ricky Shire kept putting root bag, and I was like, I don't know what a root bag is. Y'all, it's a grow bags.
Grow bag. Yeah, grow
I
bag.
didn't know that. I was the only one that didn't know that. Am I the only one that didn't know?
I did. I was with you.
Okay. I was like, what's a root bag? And I'm like, oh, root bag. I got you. Now I have an understanding. PC, I can't want to spit. Oh. Okay. That's for you.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. If you container or raised bed, do you plant the same things in pots, or do I rotate? I feel like if you're going to refresh your soil, you can keep the same thing or rotate. It's all up to you if you want to change pots. I'm a creature of habit. If I got something growing well in something, I'm gonna use it every time.
I grow my okra in the same spot every year. I do, because it grows good there. It gets enough sunlight, and it actually shades the other beds. So I use that height to shade the other beds during the summer, and I plant them there every year.
And many of us are amending our beds every year, right? So it's going to be up to you whether you feel like you need to rotate. I mean, I'm very bad at keeping track of which container I grew something in. So I think mine just happens by life, that I've never had to worry about anything, because I amend my soil every year. I'll add my Dominic lime, I'll add my fertilizer, and my containers grow well. But I would say in a raised bed, you probably want to think about possibly maybe rotating.
Okay. Next, I'm planning to install a few raised beds. My backyard gets sun from 10 a.m. to sunset. Should my beds run north to south? That's not a Roscheeta question.
So it's going to depend on what you're growing in them, right? So if you're growing tomatoes and you're going to put lettuce next to that, then of course, then you're going to want to worry about whether your bed runs north to south so that your lettuce can get the right kind of shading. So it's going to depend on what you're planting in your beds, on whether you want it to run north to south or east to west. So, or just do a mixture of both, because you might end up having to, like we talked about raised beds, you might need to rotate. So you want to have a little bit of both in order to allow for your rotation of your crops.
Yeah, because what may grow well in a place, let's say in the spring, you may have to move it for the fall, because just to be, the sun is different. In the spring, your days are getting longer. In the fall, your days are getting shorter. So those are thoughts. Blue Hill says there's an app and it's called Sun Tracker. Okay. It's for those that like if y'all looking for another app to put on your phone. I'm taking apps off my phone now. But if you want another app.
Yeah, it does.
Okay. What I learned every year, every garden year, too many dang bugs. Listen. All right. So last but not least, 4. This not last. The next one. Make the most of your space, which for me is learning what needs what. I like to crowd stuff together, but truth be told, stuff and growing as well as they could be, because you got them crowded. Okay. But you want to take the most of it, but you don't want to overdo it, that you're not getting the produce you want. Learn about spacing between your rows, especially if you're in the ground. And learning the spaces needed for your plants. I think that's just what I just said. And decide on if you're going to succession plant. If you don't have a larger space and you know that you get cucumber. What did I have on my cucumbers last time, y'all? Powdery mildew?
Yes.
Probably so.
Powdery mildew, and you got all these crunchy leaves, and the production is getting slower. If you got an extra cucumber plant, come on, Jacqueline, poke that thing out and put another one in there. Right. Jacqueline believe in kicking a plant to the curb. You understand? We just be like, come on, baby, you can do it. Come on, baby, let me fertilize you. You can do. She's like, nah, let me retire you.
I'll be
and put another one in your place.
My plants on. Listen.
She said she what?
I be rooting them on. I be rooting for them. My cucumber, my quick snacks in the hydroponics, they look like they're like done. But I pruned all them little leaves off, and voila, I got a ton of blossoms and I got new cucumbers growing. So, oh, baby, stopping it. When do you stop getting no food?
I would also say somebody talking about containers and how much they lose water. And I was gonna say if you could put something under them sometime when you water them. Because if you notice, especially with grow bags, if it's dry, that water's gonna come right out the bottom and it's not even watered. Put something under them. I know Dollar Tree has those clear ones, and all the stores have the ones you can put underneath. I actually had mine on a boot. You know how you had the little boot things you put at your front door?
Yes,
so
that's great.
On hold the water. Yep. My parents had one that was just sliding around by their trash can. For some reason, somebody didn't put it in the trash. I guess they were saving it for a better day. I'll put it to a better use and put it under my grow bag.
That's great. That's a great way to use it.
So so there's things you could do. So succession planting, if you're watching and don't know what succession planting is, that is, just say if you sowed cucumbers, you started cucumbers 2 weeks ago, you're going to start some this week. Your plants are not going to be the same age, so they all don't have to go outside at the same time. And then when the ones that's outside go by way of the cucumber graveyard or retirement home, we can put a new one in, and that's fresh and ready to work. Okay, so that's what succession planting is.
I want to add to that because
add on.
With my corn. Okay.
Oh yes.
With my corn, I'm growing corn this year, y'all. And this corn here is double red sweet corn. So the stalk is red, the corn is red, and it's supposed to be sweet.
Okay.
And so what I did with that, I planted out some corn. And then I waited until that corn started coming up, and I planted out some more corn in the same bed. They in there together, because what I seen to happen is the tassels come up. They have the pollen on there. Some of the corns have the silks ready. Other ones don't have the silks ready, and so I always wind up having more silks than I have pollen left. So if we're doing the succession planting or putting them at a different time, I'm more likely that I will get them all pollinated because they're all coming up at different times. So,
and you said they're the same type or different type?
No, they're the same type.
Same type. Yeah. And you know how people say you can't grow two types of corn at the same time.
You
can. You just have to start them so that they don't cross pollinate each other.
And that you have to be very careful when you do it.
Well, I got to grow my first batch of corn first before I even start all that extra stuff.
Well,
I was planning it in my mind and I was confusing myself. I said, girl, let's just grow one patch.
There's two different types. There's probably more than two. Don't quote me. But mostly people grow sweet corn or dent corn that you make cornmeal and things like that, popcorn out of those. So if you plant them at the same time, corn is air pollinated. So that pollen flies all over the place, you know. And so if you have corn in the same area growing and they're different, you may get some hard sweet corn, you may get some sweet cornmeal, you know, you'll have some jiffy going on out there. But you don't want them to cross pollinate, so that's why you want to make sure of what kind of corn you're growing. Even if it's a dual corn, that's still on the dent corn type of thing. So
so you're looking for a code on your corn packets. You're going to see S, S2, you're going to see SE, and those are the type. There's different types of corn. So if you're, and they're always going to tell you that you need to grow, if you're going to grow all your corn at the same time, that they all need to have the same code in order to properly pollinate each other. So you can't do S2 with SE. You're going to have to plant them either far enough apart, or you're going to need to plant them at like Cici says, succession planting, because they're not going to be able to pollinate each other. So you got to make sure that when you're planting corn, you're planting the same type of corn. And I do a lot of square foot gardening because, like Cici says, corn is pollinated by the wind. So you need to plant them close enough. You cannot plant corn in one long row and think you're going to have pollinated corn. It doesn't work that way.
Nope.
You have to plant at least 2 to 3 rows. They recommend 3 rows. So if you want to do 4 and use square foot gardening, it allows for when the wind, it will at least touch each other in order. Don't plant corn in a long row and think it's going to get pollinated. It does not work that way. They have to be planted in blocks.
Yeah, and that's what I say. Learn your spacing. If it's something you haven't grown before, definitely ask somebody. I just decided I'm gonna call Jacqueline when I go to plant my corn. I'm just gonna call you.
I know that's right. Can y'all hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
I hear you.
Okay, because we pulled
over. You are
pulled over.
Yeah, you look good now. Yep.
So I wanted to comment on the cucumber, the Wickershire Project's comment about the cucumbers, and I find it very interesting. So he said, I don't know. He said, thank you.
Yeah.
Cucumbers are notorious for petering out and getting sick. 100% have a second starter crop seeded up and ready 6 to 8 weeks. So here's my thing, and I know that is a fact for a whole lot of people. I have been growing cucumbers for, I can't even tell you how many years.
All her life, she's been growing cucumbers.
I have never, ever succession planted cucumber, and my cucumber plant will go the entire season. But I say that with this caveat. And maybe it's just because I prune my cucumber leaves back. And I don't know if everybody does that, but you may start to get a little powdery mildew or whatever. I go in and I heavy prune the leaves at least 3-4 times during the summer. And it always will just pick back up. And I will literally be harvesting cucumbers until the fall when the freeze is starting to come. So if you don't prune your cucumbers, try to do that and see if it makes a difference.
I done pruned them. It don't make no difference.
And it don't work? I'm so sorry.
But you have to think about it though. Cici gets extreme heat.
Exactly.
She gets extreme heat.
Yes.
And then sometimes she gets extreme rain. Yes. And so I think that makes
the humidity. Difference. We have humidity here, so it is like prone to.
Yeah. I think that makes a difference.
The climate's going to make a big difference.
Somebody said Larita was
those
talking
in my zone, Maryland 7B.
Yeah, so we're gonna move to Maryland and grow our cucumbers. But 2024 was the first year I succession planted cucumbers. When I was at the apartment, I did not have to succession plant my cucumbers. My cucumbers and my squash, even though they looked bad, they grew. I don't know what MSU did to those garden beds. I didn't have them properly. But yeah, it does change depending on where you are, microclimates, right? Somebody, what about strawberries? Are we talking about succession planting strawberries? Are we talking about I don't know.
Give us a little bit more. Yeah, it's what it is.
Yeah,
it is what it is. Give us a little bit more information. So
and Larita said, "Fake weather people, honey. Weather people are only right 50% of the time. Either they got it right or they got it wrong. And they ain't God. They went by the science, but God said, you know what? Let me do this, girl. Right. You only can plan for what you can plan for. Let me see. Okay, Ricochet is sharing what they planted in for corn. All right, so let's go. So we talked about we did 4, right? Okay, we did 4. Learning your spacing, you need for the spacing that your plant needs, and if you want a succession plant. Last but not least, make a supply list. Find out what you need. You may already have a water hose, but you may not. I have one. Does it have holes in it? Only God knows. Okay. Do you need a water hose? Are you going to use sprinklers? Do you need garden tools? You don't need every tool. And plus, if you are doing containers, you don't need to go buy no big old shovel like you digging in the ground, because you're not digging in the ground. You working in your container. So get the garden tools that you need. Caesar transplant, we talked about that. Do you need fertilizer? Are you going to do multi-purpose? Are you going to do organic? Are you going to buy whatever's on sale and don't worry about it? Make that plan. Are you going to stake your tomatoes and let them grow like they was in the wild and go across the ground? Your choice. Are you going to mulch? recommended, or are you gonna high intensity plant, whatever? That's your choice. And then how are you gonna protect it from wildlife? And I know when you say wildlife, people thinking about eagles and panthers and tigers and bears. But let me tell you about these skunks, squirrels, raccoons, dogs, cats, bowls and moles.
And groundhogs. Don't forget the groundhogs.
Listen, let me tell you something. Protect your stuff, because that first year I did garlic, that squirrel came and dug my garlic up and left it on top of the ground. You understand me? I said, you ain't even eat it. Why did you pick it up?
Rude.
I was so mad. Then somebody was like, don't start a fight with the squirrels. They're going to win. They smart. And I didn't. I didn't start no fight with the squirrel. I just put my garlic back in the ground. I went and got my insect netting, because I had insect netting for my greens. Because that white butterfly that I thought was cute that first year came and tore up my plants. But we're going to talk about that. So I put that netting on my garlic and put my bricks down. So things to keep your wildlife out of your stuff.
Let me add something in with that. So I discovered yesterday that I have a new guest that decided that she is going to have her nest in my pomegranate tree in the garden this year. Wow. Usually I have issues with the mockingbird flying her baby into my garden, and it's just in there, and she has a fit to can learn how to fly out of there. No, this year she decided to plant in the garden her nest. So she has been doing this extravagant nest using pieces of my garden. I'm seeing her pull twigs, cleaning stuff up, sticking it all in her nest that she's making. So this is going to be interesting summer. She's already been squawking at me outside. Every time I go in the garden, I'm like, look, we're going to have to learn how to get along, because you decided to put your babies, you're going to put your nest right here in my pomegranate tree. So she did have it conveniently by my micro dwarf tomatoes. They're right there by the pomegranate tree. I'm like, oh no, I'm not going to have you food right there. So I had to move them. And then her husband, boyfriend, or whatever was trying to, I don't know, he was trying to get some water apparently where I had my seedlings was. So he was plucking up my seedlings but he can drink the water. So I took a bowl and put it next to their tree, but I can drink out their bowl. It's going to be interesting, y'all. It's going to be a weird summer.
That's when we said gardening is patience, because these things happen.
Well, you know, my dad will always say you got to plant some for you, a stranger or your neighbor, and the animals. Mm-hmm. But if you're going to take a tomato, take a bite, throw it away, come get another tomato, take a bite of that one, stay up out my tomato. I want to whoop them like a kid. Eat what you got.
You expect them to be civilized.
Right. I need those civilized squirrels. I need the squirrels. What's those squirrels on the cartoon? Yes, brother. Yes. Who was that? Chipmunks. You first, brother. No, you first, brother.
Alvin and the Chipmunks.
No, I need somebody with some sense. I need y'all to act right. So you have the wildlife. I felt like it was another question. I don't know if you elaborated. It is what it is. You were talking about strawberries, but I didn't see your elaboration. Oh, it is what it is. Did ask, do we? Anybody make compost tea? I don't use it.
I'm making green fertilizer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I done made compost
and
tea.
I will
so we got some people making compost tea. And fertilizer. And I told y'all, I looked up how to make this fish emulsion. So when I get my fish, I have to put it in a bucket with some unsulfured molasses, sawdust, water, and let it sit in a bucket with a lid on it. I said I committed to it. But y'all know it's gonna stink. So there we go. Yeah, so that's it, y'all. That's it. That's the thing I have. Just some simple things on helping you getting started with your gardening this spring. Hopefully it has encouraged you and answered some questions that you have about it. And I'm trying to figure out my comments because I was like, I need to undo that. Okay. So yeah, there we go. That's it. That's all. We done. That's all we done. So I hope this was helpful to somebody. I hope this reiterated some things. Hopefully you learned some things, if not for us, from the chat. How long are we supposed to let that weed tea sit, y'all, until it smell like something you don't want to use?
I don't know. I would say for me, I mean, a few months, I would let it sit there. I mean, you can use it sooner, you know, it's like if you're using the weed, you know, your weeds and stuff. When you start seeing things kind of break down up in there, I would do it then, you know, filter it and make sure when you are using the tea that you're diluting it. Don't use it straight from, you know, taking it from the bucket and going to pour it on your plants. You will unalive them.
So are you diluting like 1-to-1 ratio?
10 to 1.
Yeah. So
10 to
like
1?
Like a little what?
A cup full to 10 cups.
Gallon.
Yeah.
It's better to do it weaker than have it too strong and unalive your plants because I have done that. So don't do that.
Okay. And the longer it's been sitting, the stronger it is, just so you know.
Mm-hmm.
Loretta says it's gonna be funky. Don't open that top until you're ready for it. Tom's gonna come up with a search word. They'll be like, "What? Somebody got something back here."
Back there?
Oh, Sonya says hers been sitting since Christmas Day. Girl, is it ready? I would think so.
It's ready.
I think it is. I think it is.
I think
They
so.
say 2 weeks minimum. I think 4 weeks is a good time frame.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can just keep adding to it and dilute.
Yep.
And then here you go, y'all. Wicker Sharp put in here compost tea. Notice swap water is a barrel loaded with yard waste, your leaves, your grass, your weeds, and get it stirred up. So I plan on getting me a couple of buckets with some lids and start keeping things in it, especially when I'm, you know, cleaning out the garden and all that other stuff. Yeah, that's about it, y'all. It is 9:59.
Look at that.
9:59.
Right.
Yeah, that was good.
Right on time. You guys did good tonight.
We did good. Thank the Lord for Jesus. Thank y'all. If you haven't made your rounds, go ahead and make your rounds. If you haven't said hello to your neighbor, go ahead and say hello to your neighbor. Like, comment, subscribe. Find a friend on here to connect with in your grow zone so that we can support each other, right? We can bounce ideas off of each other. You can follow Shelly at Shelly's Homestead Hideaway. You can follow Jacqueline at Four Seasons Garden. You can follow Cynthia at Cici's Texas Garden. And, you know, you can follow me here at Roscheeta Monique. I am here on the Indies Internet Street. So we thank you for being here on this beautiful Sunday evening. We do not take it lightly that you come on here every other week and spend your time and share your information freely, support one another, and give us ideas and education in the chat. We thank you for your participation because it could just be dry. Okay, it could just be us talking to the four of us, which is fine because I feel like we good company.
We are.
If you hate your neighbor, okay, make that compost tea. Revenge is served every time the wind blows. Listen, I don't know who these new neighbors is behind me. They behind me down the street, but they sound like they behind my house. I'm gonna need them to do something with themselves. But anyway, yes. Make the compost tea. Make the facial motion to see what happens. What you say?
To a tea. Serve them up some compost tea.
We having a garden tea party. So listen, anybody got anything else they want to say before I sign off?
No, this was a great night.
Thank y'all for coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank y'all so much for coming and tolerating me being on the road, moving.
That's all right. They know we real people. They know we
a lot of new people in the room too that I haven't seen before, at least for me. So
yeah,
I'm
got up at 60 something. And we do have some new people. So thank you if you're new. Thank you if you're returning. We greatly appreciate you.
Yes.
Y'all encourage us too. Because sometimes I'm like, do you really want to garden? You really want to try this year? And I'm like, girl, let's just do it one bed at a time, one thing at a time. I feel like I'm behind, but listen, as long as I'm working towards it, that's all that matters. Right. So listen, as always, before you leave this broadcast, I do want you to know one thing. And I want you to know that you are blessed. You are highly favored. You are the apple. I was about to say animals. Listen, Kizzy, I need you.
Kizzy, just give them your vegetable scraps. You'll get along with them.
Listen, let me turn off these comments because I can't even
focus, bro.
Y'all are blessed. You're highly favored. You're the apple of your father's eye. He is absolutely and positively concerned about you. He thinks that you are the best thing since sliced bread. You can cast your cares on him and know that God cares for you and that he loves you. Shut up, Cynthia, with an everlasting love. And there's nothing and nothing you can do about it. You all have a wonderful and blessed day. I didn't even know what she was laughing at, but it tickled me.
She throwing all the animals in there. She like, but they got this and this.
And listen, I turned the comments off. Bye, Kizzy. Y'all go to bed. Good night.